And yeah, see, like, so the game will tell you which way to go, but then there's always other paths that you can go and check out. I think there might have been cans or a thermos or something over here in the original version. You know, obviously I got all that stuff, so it's not going to appear in my game anymore. But I think all that stuff was over, or there's something was over there. Nothing's there for no reason. You know, this game is really good about that. I like games that do that, where if they make an area for you to go check out, it's not for, you know, it's for a reason. All right, so let's go in here. We'll heal for a second. All right, good. The way to go is definitely back there, but let's go check out over here. Let's do a little sightseeing. See if we activate any more monsters. Let's learn about this tree. The tree this ring was cut from started growing in 1846, the year the Oregon Treaty was signed. Other notable events marked on the rings. Man, 1853, the Washington Territory was formed. The founding of the Bright Falls Mining Company in the town itself. So that's what I really like about this game. It's what games like Silent Hill do really well. Games like Resident Evil 2 and 3 did really well. Which is they make the towns they're set in, the fictional towns they're set in, they give them history. They make them feel like a character. I really, really, really like that. I love when anything does that. A book, a movie, especially a video game, where they make the town feel as important as it's not just some random setting. It's important to the narrative. And this is obviously does that. I mean, we have the creature in Cauldron Lake, this darkness, this dark presence, who may not have always been a dark presence. My theory is that maybe it was because there's a lot of Norwegian and Viking lore sprinkled out through this game. So it's possible that that creature is something from those legends, those stories, that that is reawakening now. They say that there was a volcano once in this area. It kind of went under after it erupting, and over time, you know, water came in and created the lakes, and the mountains, you know, reformed and stuff and grew, you know, or whatever, reshaped over generations and generations as plates and everything moved. So the landscape changed, and this, holy cow. Oh. Oof. Oh, this is gonna suck. Oh, man. So the landscape changed, and it's just, so the volcano at the bottom of the lake now is, you know, has been taken over by this lake, and whatever evil was in it is trying to get out. The water has trapped it, but it is slowly getting out, and it tried to get out once with a writer named Thomas Zane, who that's someone we'll see pop up from time to time as a ball of light trying to navigate us. He was the one we saw in the first episode in our dreams.
Hell, of course I see him. Come on, we gotta move.
Why?
Because that's the way the story goes.
Yeah, but move.
And so we got this nutcase.
Oh, I've got a gun. Just that light steady on him.
It took a moment, but then
Yeah, this is kind of fun.
been on the ferry when I first arrived here with Alice. He knew my name. We were headed in the direction.
Yeah, this guy, he was an optional person. You could have gone and talked to him on the ferry when you were coming into town.
Come on, Wake. You better keep
But
up.
yeah, and remember, we think Alice has been kidnapped by a person because our memories of everything is all messed up. So we're thinking maybe this guy is the kidnapper. Yeah, we're not gonna do too well, and I'm gonna die. Oh man. Lil C says, just made it here. What's this dark creature you speak of? All right, well,
Yeah, but
I will do another
I lost my
recap.
gun back there.
Let me just get through this battle, and I'll do another recap for you. And by the way, welcome to the chat. Hope you're doing well tonight, Lil C. We are playing Alan Wake, and we are on episode 2.
He knew my name. We were headed in the
Oh, and we got
direction
the
of
flare.
Ryan's
Okay.
band. There was no
Cool.
way this was a coincidence. He was the kidnapper.
So I lost my gun.
Wake, you better keep up.
So I'm not used to this. I'm not used to someone else being the gun. While I'm just the light. But I like that about this game, is that they change up the mechanics a little bit. Throw some surprises at you. Oh. There we go. So, Little C, if you're wondering what I'm doing, these people, quote-unquote people, are covered in darkness. And by using the lights on them, it erases the darkness and it makes them vulnerable for us to shoot. But even though they look human and they sound human, they are no longer human.
Like that, Lover's Peak. Right up these stairs, Wake. Use the flares from the emergency box to hold them off while I get these boards off.
Give me the gun.
Yeah, no can do, Wake.
Are you kidding? Give me the gun.
Here we go. Oh, man.
No time for back talk. Hold them off, damn it. No longer. Scare them off.
Here we go. I was like, please give me more flares. Oh, right. We got a ton of them.
Just a little longer. I almost got it. Okay, it's open. Move it or lose it.
All right, let's leave one of these here. All right, let's go.
That's right.
All right. So, Lil C,
Oh, you feeling better now, Wake? All cozy and safe.
in Alan Wake here, we play Alan Wake, who's the guy we're controlling. He's a writer. He's had writer's block for 2 years. He did a great book that was like a New York Times bestseller 2 years ago called what's it called again? The Sudden Stop. And The Sudden Stop was a bestseller. And ever since then, we've had writer's block. Alan's had writer's block. He's been unable to write his next book, which he has tentatively titled
This is
The
it, Wake.
Departure.
The last stand. There's more
And
players here. Get ready. We fight them as long as they keep coming.
Give me the goddamn gun. They're coming.
That's not how this goes. Get with the program, Wake.
yeah, and we're trying to take his gun, obviously, because we think he's the kidnapper. So I'm jumping ahead now. Oh, damn.
That's right.
So The Departure, the book we're supposed to be writing, and we haven't been able to because we have writer's block. Is driving us insane. We can't seem to get the book written, and like I said, just bad writer's block for 2 years. So Alice, our wife, she decides to take us on a vacation, maybe clear our head. Only she kind of has an ulterior motive. She brings us to this small town of Bright Falls, which she gets invited to by this shrink that lives here. And the shrink is like, you know, he's known for helping writers and creative people get through their problems. And so she secretly is like, all right, well, let's bring Alan here. Holy cow. And you know, maybe we can help him. We can fix what's wrong with him or whatever. We can get through this writer's block that he has. And Alan, when we get there, Alan's kind of a dick, so his dickhead side kind of comes out a little bit. And you kind of yell at Alice, and you two, you know, you show up, you go into this cabin that you rented, and she ends up going missing. She gets pulled into the lake by something unseen, and Alan dives in after her. The rumor is, the stories we've been hearing about this lake, Cauldron Lake, is that there's a dark presence at the bottom of it. That there was a volcano once in this canyon
Where's my
that
wife?
I knew
the
you
landscape
would.
changed, it
I've
sank
been
under,
before. You're a
and
hell
now
of
there's a lake over it.
Congratulations.
And they built this cabin on it that people can rent and stay at. It's like a really beautiful view. Well,
Editorial control.
What the hell are you talking about?
we
Where's
went
Alice?
to, we went in, we jumped in the lake after Alice,
She's gonna suffer bad.
and then,
Touch her mouth.
ooh. So after Alice goes missing, we wake up in a car, and after an accident, we've crashed off the side of the road, still in Bright Falls, and apparently a week has gone by. And during that week, we don't know what's happened. We don't know where Alice is, but we're starting to see glimpses of, that Alan has been awake
I swear I'll
that
kill
whole
you for it,
week,
Alice.
and he
You
was
hear me?
writing the
Come
book,
back here.
his new book, The Departure.
He had
And
Alice, and he wanted the manuscript because he thought it held some magical power. But I had no manuscript to give him. I had to get back to Barry and figure out my next move.
And so, but what's happening is that we're finding all these manuscript pages, like this one coming up here. This right here is a page from a book that we don't remember writing. But apparently during the week that Alice was missing and that we don't have our memory of, apparently we sat and wrote our book, The Departure. And it seems we were being, forced or made to write it by this dark presence. So we might be a puppet of this darkness. And this darkness that lives at the bottom of this lake, we were like, all right, we got to go back to the lake. That's where Alice is. We find a police officer at the gas station. We're like, please take us there. She takes us to the lake, and there's no cabin on the lake at all. So now we're starting to wonder, is this in Alan's head? Is this all really happening? Is Alice even real? There's a lot going on.
Rusty had warned me about these traps. It hurt like hell. I was stuck.
Oh, that sucked. So there was no item there. So this darkness, it feeds off of writers. Lil C says, sounds like a great mystery story. Yeah, it really is, because there is a part, they do try to play it to where you're not sure if Alan is crazy or not. There are some things that suggest he isn't, and then there's evidence that suggests he might be. They go back and forth on it. Ultimately, you're pretty sure that this is all really happening, but since it's such a leap of faith, because there's nothing logical about this being, it's very much like a Stephen King book. Oh, damn it. It's very much like a Stephen King book. It has a very Stephen King sense of explaining things. It's not really, there's not a lot of logic in it. I mean, there's rules, which that's important when you're writing something supernatural, is establish rules and follow them. So it does do that very well in this game. But logic, if you're looking for logic or logical explanations for things, you got to throw that right out the window, because that's not that's not going to help you understand this game at all. Essentially what's happening is that this darkness feeds on writers, and it fed on one named Thomas Zane, who was a prolific writer that Alan doesn't know. He never heard of him. How do we get over there? So Alan's never heard of this writer, and I feel like I'm circling back. But Thomas Zane is very important to the story. He's gone through this. He's fought the darkness, and Alan needs to learn from him. And so he will show up from time to time, try to help us. Did I run further away? I ran backwards, didn't I? But yeah, it is a good mystery, and so So the creature is, it's not like the the necromorph thing in Dead Space or anything like that. It's not like a. I mean, I guess it's kind of like a hive mind a little bit, but we don't really fully know what's really happening and what's going on. Oh yeah, I ran all the way back to the beginning. I'm a big, what the Germans would call a Dummkopf. All right, my bad, guys. It's easy to get turned around in these woods. Especially for a guy like me. So yeah, hopefully I did a good job of summarizing that. And hopefully not spoiled too much too, because not that there's a ton of spoilers in this game. It's not like that. It's not like where it's like, twist after twist after twist. It's something that just slowly unfolds. It eases you into the concepts because it is a little out there. And so it does want to walk you through it. It doesn't want to just grab you and make you, run through it and not understand what's going on. It wants you to understand. And that's what I like about the narrative of this game and how well I think the storytellers told this story. All right. So let's go down this way. But I love the environments. The design of this game is really awesome. They announced this game. I know I said this already, but they announced this game in 2003 at E3. Or 2005, I'm sorry, at E3 in 2005. But they didn't announce it like, it wasn't like super public. What they were trying to do was kind of like what Capcom did with the kitchen demo for Resident Evil 7. They let some press and people experience it. But they did it behind closed doors, like they brought press into the back area of certain rooms and would let them check out some of the footage they had created so far for Alan Wake. So it wasn't something they were just like blaring all over the place at first. And it ended up taking 5 years for the game to fully develop. The game didn't come out till 2010. So it did take some time. Oh, let's run. Oof. Dodge. Not well enough. Whew. All right. I think we're still following the path, as long as there is a path. Here we go. Sweet. Like I said, easy to get lost in the woods. Whew. And yeah, like I said, there's only 6 episodes in this game, but we've already been playing this one for over an hour. So each episode, they get a little longer. I think the first episode took us like an hour, 15 minutes to an hour and a half to beat. And the second one, I think, is about that too. And then each episode after that gets a little bit longer. The environments get a little bit bigger. There's more to explore. You can drive cars around and, there's a lot going on. But like I said, when they were developing this game in 2005 and moving forward, they Remedy's a small studio. They made Max Payne 1 and they made Max Payne 2 to make something new. And so that's where Alan Wake comes in. This is their new venture that they went on. And they just released a game this year too called Quantum Break. And if you bought that game or pre-ordered that game, it came with Alan Wake for free, which I thought that was cool that they did that. Oh, you mother effers. You're gonna get the flare now, son. trying to stop me from using this. Yeah, got him. I thought he was going to get me. I thought we were done there. But they're charging us up, gives us a checkpoint, and it refilled our health. And it gives us a safe area to be in if those things come back. I kind of don't know where to go. I think I got a little turned around. Here we go. Coming back. So these little lights on the ground. Well, not those ones, but there's some that we'll see that we got to stay away from because they're hunting traps. We'll get our foot caught in them and it'll suck. All right, where am I going? Let's go back here because this is. All right, so I see light up there, so we're gonna go that way. Typically, you want to follow the light in this game. Lil C says bear traps. Yep, definitely. And they suck. Whoa, what up? So, I mentioned this earlier, Little C. Whoa, okay. Sometimes, so these guys will actually say, like, actual words. But they're random lines of dialogue. But they seem so. But it's actually not random at all. It's basically like some of these guys are hunters, so they'll say lines like "hunting in the woods this late at night is bad." You know, like they'll say things that they would actually say, and it's because the darkness is almost like piloting them. You know, it's like it's taking over them, imitating them, forcing them to do these things, And, you know, essentially you see the way they evaporate. They are darkness creatures. They're not human anymore, even though they look like it. Oh, snap. Oh, snap. Okay. So they'll say things that, like, you know, like earlier we met like a wildlife preserve guy and Rusty, and he was spouting nonsense too. Or it seems like nonsense, but so these things also suck. I forgot about them till just now. Little pockets of darkness that if you step on them, they hurt you. But yeah, so this darkness, this dark presence is essentially imitating you, and so it's going through your memories, your life, and trying its best to replicate it in the sense of where it's like when it's throwing out dialogue at you, it doesn't really know what it's doing. It's trying to learn the language in a way, but it's trying to communicate, but throw you off at the same time. It doesn't really know what it's doing. It just knows it wants to hurt you and attack you, but the stuff it's saying is just kind of seems random, but it's specific to the characters that it's that's taken, you know, that's talking to you. All right, so now let's go up to the 3rd floor. Oh, right. Yeah, and you can fall, and it hurts, and probably kill you. So they try to treat the physics of the game in a realistic way, even though they have a lot of unrealistic elements. Lil C says, reminds me of Beyond Two Souls a little. You know, I don't know if I've ever played that game. Is that the one with Ellen Page in it? Is that Beyond Two Souls, or am I confusing my games? What's the premise of Beyond Two Souls? Because if there's more games like this out there, I want to play them. Oops. Oh, there's a ladder. Okay, let's go up the ladder. That's pretty cool. And Lil C, by the way, you missed this earlier. Lil C says, yes, great story. Oh, it is the Ellen Page one. Okay, cool. Sweet. So I've heard of it. I just never played it. I was mentioning earlier, Little C, that I started a second YouTube channel just for... Because I actually had some people who, like, normally watch my YouTube channel for, like, movie reviews and vlogs. And, you know, sometimes I do a reaction video here and there. They were starting to wonder what's happening to my channel, because it started getting chaotic, and I started uploading Twitch streams on there and stuff. And so I guess some people were just kind of like thrown off by it, and they're used to watching 10, 15-minute videos, not really digging the 2.5-hour videos I was uploading, which I can totally get and appreciate. So I created a second YouTube channel today, just for Seek and Destroy Gaming. And I uploaded the first part, and I can edit, actually, I can edit the episodes now. So I put up the first hour of Dead Space, the first chapter. And I'm going to put them up in chapters. So there'll be 12 videos total. And each one will be about 40 to 50 minutes long. So I'm, putting those up on the YouTube, on my new YouTube channel. And what I'm doing is, in the description box of every video I post, it has links to all of your guys' Twitch streams. Because I wanted, as I mentioned you guys in the chat, and like when I'm making the videos, I want people to be able to go down in the description box and go, okay, he said Lil C, and Lil C told him to do this, and I like Lil C's information. I want to go follow Lil C, and so I put your link down in the description box. And same with like Angel, like, oh, Angel does this, and she supports small streamers, and she shares, and she does this. I like her style. I want to follow her. So that's what I did. So there's like 30 links or something like that in the description box of my videos now on that second YouTube page. And I set that as the default setting. So every video, and as we gain new followers and new people in the chat, I will put those in there. And if anyone sees this and I missed you for some reason, remind me and I'll put your link in the chat as well. I mean, in the description of those videos. Excuse me, I need a drink. My throat is it's like super dry tonight. Lil C says, have you ever played Heavy Rain? Is that the one where there's like multiple like scenarios that you can do, where it's like solving mysteries and there's like multiple scenarios? Cause yeah, if Karma's right. I mean, I wouldn't say I'm like an anti-PlayStation person, by any means, but I have mostly been an Xbox person since the 360. I've had a PS1 and a PS2. I've never had a PS3. I've had an Xbox and an Xbox 360, and now an Xbox One. And I had a PS4. Last year I bought a PS4. Excuse me. I bought a PS4 for PT, for the demo of PT, because I'm a big Silent Hill fan. But ultimately, I didn't really buy a lot of games for the PS4. I didn't really like a lot of the stuff that was coming out. So I ended up selling the PS4 to a friend of mine who didn't get a chance. She didn't get a chance to get the PT demo. And she's a big Hideo Kojima fan and a Silent Hill fan. So I wanted her to be able to play it. So I sold her my PlayStation, for a pretty regular price. And then I gave her Metal Gear Solid 5 which was really the only game I owned besides Destiny for the PS4. So I played some games on there, but I know of stuff on the PlayStation 4. But I'll be honest, Heavy Rain I didn't play. I actually watched a friend of mine play it. My friend Todd, he was a big gamer, and I used to watch him play games all the time. So I know of Heavy Rain because I watched him play it. I don't know how it ends, but I did watch him play a good chunk of the game. Yeah. So anyway, that's that. Yes, Lil C says yes, and it's just like Beyond Two Souls. Angel says, what's up? And then Lil C says, yeah, I'm a PlayStation guy, LOL, but I own all systems. Yeah, and that's usually how it is too. I just don't have the money really for more than one system at a time. Or at least I didn't for a while. That may change in the future. As more games are coming out for PlayStation 4, more games that I seem to like. I would like to have one again at some point. So I know I'll get there eventually. But right now, Xbox is easier for me. It's a system I've been on for years. I love the 360. Had a lot of good games on it. My gamer score is here. My Capcom, thing is linked to it. But if you go look at my Capcom, profile or whatever, you'll see PlayStation 4 games on there. You'll see PS2, whatever. Like you'll see Nintendo DS games. Like I've played pretty much all the Resident Evils, so I pretty much follow games. I don't really commit to systems. I usually follow games, and if the game is on both systems, which happens a lot more nowadays, I tend to just am okay with having one system. If that makes sense. Whew. Angel says, I'm heading to bed. No problem, Angel. We're almost done here with the second episode anyway. So I hope you enjoyed this. I know it's a slow-moving game, and I know I prattle on sometimes unnecessarily. I just feel like, I don't know, I get so worried when you upload stuff to YouTube now about copyright things. And, that music, too much of that music played, and you didn't talk enough, so we're going to slap a copyright thing on you, whatever. So that's why the new YouTube channel is it's not monetized yet. It's just, I'm going to see if it grows at all. If there's any even real reason to upload these to YouTube, or if I should just keep them exclusive to Twitch. So it's more of a test than anything. But I'm glad you're enjoying it, and thank you so much for hanging out tonight. Have a good night, and good job on the Ada stuff tonight. I know you were playing Ada earlier. I retweeted your stream, and I'll try to see it sooner next time. Before I start my streams, I'll try to check your Twitter to see if you tweeted your stuff, so I can tweet them before I get on. No problem. You're welcome, Angel. Have a good night. Get some sleep.
I still had to reach Barry at the cabin, but at least I was out of the woods.
Flares. Nope, just batteries. And I'm full on revolver ammo. Trailer homes, nice.
I'd have to get the car from the locked garage. It would get me back to Barry fast.
Kitty says, well, what do we have here? We have Alan Wake. This is episode 2 of Alan Wake. And welcome to the chat, Kitty. And Almighty, thank you again for hosting me. We're getting near the end of this chapter. I think we're about to get into the final battle, I think, pretty soon. This is one of my favorite games. I really just love this game. the sound design, the game, the visuals, the gameplay is fun. It's not too difficult. Easy learning curve. And oh, what's up? Rifle ammo.
I had to find the key to the garage.
Great voice acting, great plot. Weird. I like weird. References a lot of things. Like I was saying, like, you know, Stranger Things, if you haven't seen that on Netflix, I highly recommend it. It is a mishmash of all of your favorite, like,
Key to get to the car.
Amblin Entertainment, you know, movies, 80s movies, 90s movies.
A story is not a machine that does what you tell it. A story is a beast.
And that's what Alan Wake is. It is a mishmash of a lot of things that I love.
As the story grows,
Like Twilight Zone,
things of its own.
Stephen King's The Shining,
Chain reaction of events that spreads through the whole thing.
The Birds, Alfred Hitchcock.
The events need to follow a logic that fits the story. A single flaw and the magic is gone. The story dies. Alice dies.
So here, what I like is, like, I mean, like I write. I'm a amateur writer, I would say. I've written a couple novels and comic books and a couple screenplays, none of which have sold. But there are rules to things when you write, and you can write a supernatural, unbelievable, illogical story as long as you establish rules early on in the story and then follow those rules. And that's what this game does really, really well, is that it sets up these rules at the beginning and slowly you learn more and more. The rules don't change, but there's new rules added and new ideas brought in about what the darkness is, how you battle it, what's going on. And that is ultimately, this game never deviates from those rules or those ideas. It always sticks to them. So that's why it makes you feel something when you're playing it. It makes you believe the unbelievable. You know, like you don't totally roll your eyes at, I mean, some of the stuff that happens in this game, because it tries to it doesn't take itself seriously, but it's just that it follows the structure of the story and the narrative it's set up, which is really nice. Kitty says, I'm dozing off on you. I work at 7 a.m. I lack discipline. That's okay. Get some sleep. Definitely get some sleep. Thanks for popping in. I will be putting these up on our YouTube page at some point in the future. Or my new YouTube page, which, by the way, Kitty, I give you a... Boom! On my new YouTube channel, I created... That is literally... It's just a test to see if these videos get, some love on YouTube, or if having a YouTube page is worth it for these videos. And in the description boxes of all the videos, I plug all you guys. I talk about your channels, and I give you guys all shout out in the description box. So definitely check that out if you have time. And get some sleep. Do it tomorrow. You need sleep right now. So this here, if you're wondering why we're, driving in a car, it's because originally, like I said, this game was designed to be an open world game. So during some of the development of it, they were thinking of you being able to drive from one end of the map to the other, but it just interrupted the narrative. They wanted to tell a mystery, and they thought if you had a choice of where to go, it would interrupt the story they wanted to tell. So they ultimately, did this episodic thing, which you'll see here soon, because we're going to get near the end of episode 2 here soon. All right, let's get out. Can only go so far. Oh, what up, boys? Right in the back of the head. Kitty says people need to run these clowns over. There was one by my job. Oh, the clowns. Oh, yeah. You know what? An hour ago or 2 hours ago, I wouldn't have had any idea what you were talking about. But I watched, right before I streamed, I watched Philip DeFranco's show. And I heard about the clown thing.
I don't... Listen. I'm gonna
So
need
our
time.
wife went missing,
I still need to write
you know,
the ending. I need a week.
and this psycho is claiming to have her. And it's because he's finding these pages and that, you know, from our book, The Departure, and he's seeing that the things that are happening in the pages are happening in real life. And so he wants the ending of the story. He wants to know how it all ends. So he's kind of gone a little crazy. But he's claiming to have our wife, and he's saying if we bring the rest of the manuscript to him, he will give us our wife back. But he may just be lying, he may be crazy, or he may be an agent of the darkness. We don't know. A lot of possibilities. Kitty says, I love him. Who, Philip DeFranco? Yeah, I like him too. He's an interesting guy because I ultimately don't like the concept of a YouTube news show. I really don't really like that too much. And then because all it does is just feed the people like Keemstar and Leafy and all these people who are just the worst part of YouTube, I feel, is people like that. But Philip DeFranco has an actual show. He creates content, and that's what I like about him. And he does talk about real world things, and he does provide a service in a way. I feel like he's interesting. I like his show overall. I feel like he's a guy that I'd like to hang out with. He's definitely someone I'd like to work with one day or collaborate with. I know he's hinted at maybe expanding his network and finding other YouTubers to work with. I don't know what I would do for him, but I would love to work for him, or maybe keep creating my shows on YouTube, because I like creating content too. I like creating my own shows, and I put a lot of work into them. Like sometimes I'll edit for 6 to 7 hours, on like one 10-minute video. So I like to think I make the best quality I can, considering I have a budget of $0. And I think a guy like Philip DeFranco would appreciate that. And I think he would notice that. He would say like, oh, well, if this guy can do that with $0 and zero resources, I wonder what he could do with my resources, and a couple dollars. Because I don't want to make a living off of YouTube. I would just like to, make some side money. If it could buy me video games, if YouTube could buy me video games or toys to continue to do reviews of every month, or movies, that's all I want it to do. I don't want it to pay my bills or anything. I just want it to pay for my hobbies and feed the channel, maybe get better lights, maybe get better editing equipment, that kind of stuff. So that's my only goal with YouTube and Twitch. Kitty says, I still don't have your YouTube. Oh, just look me up on YouTube, SIIKE Donnelly, SIIKE DONNELLY. You can find a link to it at my website, SIIKEDonnelly.com. If you go to my Twitter, @ExplodingBullet, I tweeted out some stuff. I created a second YouTube channel today just for these videos, these Twitch videos, and I'm editing them actually and posting them in smaller increments. So with a new intro and outro that I filmed actually today. And some music that I got today. And sometimes I create my own music. Sometimes I get royalty-free music. So yeah, please subscribe to me. I would love to check out for you to check out my videos, and I'd love to hear what you think of them. Oh, wait, there's a chest over here. Let's get it. Almighty says, I am back and also back to hosting you as well. When you went off, it auto-hosted Angel Rose. Oh, okay, that's cool. No problem. Well, Angel Rose just went to bed. But I appreciate you hosting me, man, as always. And that's why in those videos on my second YouTube channel, I wanted to plug all you guys. Because obviously I name drop you. I say like, oh, Almighty says this in the chat. Kitty says this in the chat. So I wanted people to have some kind of context. So in the description on my videos from now on, when I post these streams on YouTube on my new channel, I list all you guys in the description below. And it also will be to celebrate launching this channel, this new YouTube channel. If you subscribe to it, you'll see when I'm going to post 2 more videos this week on that channel that are like me talking. I have, if you're a Gears of War fan, I have Gears of War 4 in-game and avatar codes for free stuff that I won at Comic-Con. And I'm going to be giving those codes out on my videos. I gave 2 out today for Halo Wars 2. And I will be doing Gears of War 4 next because that game's coming out in a couple days. And if you pre-ordered it now digitally, you're playing it right now.
Barry Wheeler speaking.
This is Rose.
Rose?
I found Mr. Wake's pages.
Oh, you sweet, brilliant girl.
So Alan has now told Barry, hey, this crazy guy is claiming to have my wife Alice. He wants our manuscript pages. And now Rose, who you could tell doesn't sound normal, called Barry and is luring him to a trap.
Good girl.
And here's the lady that gave us the key to opening the Cauldron Lake cabin. And here we are. This is Poe. The song is called Haunted. Came out in 2000. And I love this band when they first came out. I know at the end of episode 3 we have Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds. I don't know if anyone here is music fans, but I'm going to rave about the music incessantly. I love Nick Cave, Poets of the Fall, David Bowie, Depeche Mode. They picked some really good licensed music for this. And we're just going to slowly jam out to the music to end our stream tonight. So this is the end of episode 2. Karma asked if I know if the codes work for Xbox 360. I believe they do. It doesn't say on the... I don't know. Do they make Gears of War 4 for the 360? The Avatar ones, I think, do. The in-game ones won't. Unless there's a Gears of War 4 360 version. But I don't remember if there is one. I think it's just Xbox One. But the Avatar codes will probably work. But the emblem and the in-game bounty stuff, those will not work, most likely. Oh, God, hearing Poe again, it's like, it's so good. Love this band. The end of first episode had Roy Orbison, his song In Dreams. Nick Cave, his song's Up Jump the Devil, which is at the end of the third episode. But I just wanted to play 2 tonight, 1 and 2 tonight, just to give you guys a taste of this game. It's really story-driven. It's slow at times. It builds slowly, but it has such a great payoff. It's just one of those games that just really gets under your skin and pulls you in. And I really like it. And I like the episodic way that they tell the stories. And I hope you guys do too. I hope I'm not wasting your time with this stream. I really, really love this game. It is definitely in my top 10 games of all time. I don't know exactly where because those shift all the time, but I was really happy to be able to play this tonight. And originally I wasn't going to stream tonight, but we launched that new YouTube channel today with the video games, and then I have my main YouTube channel where I just do all my other stuff on there: toy reviews, movie reviews, Lego reviews, and reaction videos, and my vlogs. So all that stuff is on my regular YouTube page, which is youtube.com/C/SIIKE Donnelly. My new YouTube page